Society has always held a deep fascination with the archetype of the untamable man, the solitary figure who walks his own path, defying convention and sidestepping traditional roles. He is often seen as the lone wolf, the rogue, the quiet rebel who does not seek approval or validation. Instead of following the crowd or asserting dominance over others, he exists beyond the typical social hierarchies, answering only to his inner compass. This man, often referred to as a Sigma male, is not a fantasy or an abstract ideal. He is very real, defined not by leadership or subservience, but by independence and self-direction. His life unfolds according to his own principles, not society's expectations. Yet, what becomes of such a man when he encounters a woman who does not try to tame or change him, but rather seeks to understand him? This woman is no ordinary partner. She does not play the role of a damsel needing rescue, nor does she attempt to control or reshape him to fit a more familiar mold. She is not drawn to him in hopes of transforming him. Instead, she sees him clearly and accepts him wholly. Her strength lies in her ability to stand beside him as an equal, not because she reflects him, but because she brings balance to his energy in a way that supports without diminishing. Their connection is not rooted in dominance or submission. It is not a tale of conquest, nor is it one of surrender. Instead, it is the union of two sovereign individuals who meet on the same wavelength. Each values their independence, their inner depth, and their commitment to authenticity. In each other, they find not just a partner, but a kindred spirit, someone who shares a deep reverence for freedom and genuine connection. This is a story of mutual respect, understanding, and the quiet strength of a bond formed between two complete, unyielding souls. 1. She brings peace, not chaos. In a world overflowing with noise, distraction, and pressure, the Sigma male moves like a lone strategist, constantly thinking, observing, and calculating his next steps. His mind is a battlefield, filled with ambition, focus, and unrelenting drive to master his path. He operates in society that often feels foreign to his nature, and the battles he fights are silent and unseen by most. Amid this daily mental warfare, the last thing he needs is a partner who introduces unnecessary drama, emotional manipulation, or chaos into his already demanding life. The woman who truly earns a Sigma male's respect does none of the things that destabilize his peace. She does not provoke arguments to test his loyalty, nor does she wield her emotions as weapons to gain control or attention. She doesn't inflate small problems into emotional storms or thrive on conflict. Instead, she becomes a sanctuary, a calm, steady presence in a world that often feels anything but. Her peace is not passive, it's powerful. It provides him with a rare space where he can finally let down his guard and breathe deeply. In her presence, he doesn't feel the need to stay alert or guarded. She doesn't drain his energy, she replenishes it. This matters deeply because Sigma males by nature are constantly in motion internally. Their minds never rest. They are always observing, analyzing, and anticipating. For such a man, peace is not a luxury, it is a necessity. A woman who exudes calm and emotional steadiness becomes more than just a partner. She becomes vital to his well-being. In return for her grounding presence, he offers something profound. While he may not be the most outwardly expressive man, his loyalty is unwavering and primal. His protectiveness is fierce and unspoken, and his devotion runs deeper than words could ever convey. To the woman who brings peace, he offers not just affection, but a rare and powerful bond rooted in mutual respect and unshakable trust. 2. She understands the language between his words. Communication, for a Sigma male, is not always verbal. He is not one to engage in long emotional monologues or outward displays of vulnerability. His language is more subtle, more nuanced, spoken through quiet gestures, fleeting glances, and barely noticeable shifts in energy. What may appear to others as silence or detachment is, in truth, a rich form of expression understood only by those willing to look beyond the surface. Many misinterpret this reserved nature, assuming he is cold, aloof, or emotionally unavailable. But the woman who truly belongs by his side sees things differently. She reads the unspoken lines between his words. She has learned the art of interpreting his emotional signals not through what he says, but through how he says it or doesn't. She instinctively knows that when he says, "I'm fine," He may mean I need space, and that a prolonged silence could mean I'm overwhelmed but I want you near. She doesn't pry, pressure, or plead for answers. Instead, she observes, she listens, and most importantly, she understands. Her strength lies not in demanding his emotional vocabulary, but in her ability to honor his need for quiet processing. She doesn't try to fix what isn't broken or force him into conversations before he's ready. She allows space for his silence to speak, and she meets it with patience rather than fear. This is crucial because many people fail to connect with Sigma males for this exact reason. They demand clarity, immediate emotional transparency, and constant reassurance. But a Sigma male's world doesn't operate that way. He reveals himself slowly, cautiously, and only to those who prove they can handle the depth beneath the surface. The right woman doesn't try to extract emotion from him. She earns it. And when he does finally open up, it's not the result of pressure, but a profound trust. In her, he finds a rare understanding that needs no words, a quiet knowing that allows him to be fully himself, without translation. 3. She's not threatened by his unpredictability. In a world that thrives on structure, routine, and predictability, the Sigma male is an outlier. He resists the linear paths that others follow and often charts his course according to instinct rather than convention. His life may appear erratic to the outside observer, marked by sudden disappearances, abrupt changes in direction, and moments of intense solitude. He may go days without contact, cancel plans without explanation, or immerse himself in a new pursuit without warning. For most people, such unpredictability would feel unsettling or even alarming. A less secure partner might view his behavior as rejection or emotional detachment. She might try to control the chaos, to tether him to stability through constant check-ins or emotional demands. But the woman who truly understands him does the opposite. She doesn't try to clip his wings or decode every silence. She doesn't flood his phone with messages when he retreats, nor does she interpret his need for solitude as a reflection of her worth. She does not attempt to cage him in routine or demand that he conform to her expectations of consistency. Instead, she offers him what few are capable of, the space to be exactly who he is, without apology. This freedom is not passive indifference. It's an act of deep trust. She understands that his unpredictability is not a threat, but a natural extension of his self-directed life. And in granting him that freedom, she becomes something rare and irreplaceable. Herein lies the paradox. By refusing to control him, she becomes the one person he continually returns to, not out of guilt, obligation, or routine, but because her presence never feels like a cage. Her understanding feels like home, a place where he doesn't have to explain or adjust, but can simply exist. In that freedom, love takes root not through control, but through trust, respect, and the quiet power of letting each other be. For she has a life so complete, his presence is a bonus, not a necessity. The Sigma male values wholeness, not just in himself, but in others. He is not searching for someone to complete him, because he is already complete, self-reliant and inwardly fulfilled. He is naturally repelled by neediness and emotional dependency. He doesn't want to be the center of someone's world, nor does he want a relationship built on obligation or void-filling. Instead, he is drawn to a woman who mirrors his independence, a woman whose life is full, rich, and thriving entirely on its own. The woman who captivates him doesn't sit around waiting for his texts or rearrange her world to orbit his schedule. Her happiness doesn't hinge on his presence, and her identity isn't defined by being someone's partner. She brings her own passions to the table, maintains strong friendships, and follows a personal mission that lights her up from within. She's not looking to be rescued, completed, or validated. She already possesses everything she needs. This level of self-sufficiency isn't just admirable to a Sigma male, it's magnetic. He sees in her a kindred spirit, someone who understands that a meaningful connection is not born from need, but from choice. Her ability to stand alone with confidence and grace signals something profound. She's not with him because she has to be. She's with him because she wants to be. This creates an exceptionally rare and powerful dynamic. Rather than two of trying to form a whole, there are two already whole individuals who meet in mutual respect and admiration. Each has their own orbit, their own rhythm, their own journey. Yet they choose again and again to intertwine not from lack, but from abundance. In a world full of emotional dependence disguised as love, their connection stands out, built not on neediness, but on the overflowing richness of two independent souls choosing to walk beside each other. 5. She's immune to social noise. In an age dominated by social media, public opinion, and the relentless pursuit of external validation, most people are caught in a cycle of performance. They shape their identities to match trends, curate their lives for approval, and measure their worth in likes, follows, and fleeting attention. But the woman who walks beside a Sigma male is cut from a different cloth, one that is immune to the noise of the crowd. She does not seek validation from others because she has already claimed it from within. Her sense of self isn't shaped by algorithms, nor is her confidence tied to whether she fits into anyone's expectations. She doesn't bend to trends, chase popularity, or depend on social metrics to feel seen. Her presence is steady, grounded, and self-assured, untouched by the chaos of collective opinion. This matters deeply to a Sigma male who has lived his entire life outside conventional systems. He knows what it means to stand alone, to reject the mainstream, to chart a course based on inner truth rather than social reward. So when he meets a woman who also refuses to play the game, a woman who doesn't posture, doesn't perform, and doesn't need the world's applause, he instantly recognizes something rare. In her, he sees authenticity. He sees someone who is not chasing approval, but simply being. She makes choices not to impress, but because they align with who she is. And that quiet, unwavering confidence draws him in more than any performance ever could. In a society drowning in curated images and manufactured personas, she is a breath of fresh air, real, unapologetic, and whole. Her immunity to social noise doesn't just impress him, it earns his deep respect. She becomes not only his partner, but his equal in self-possession, standing tall in her truth just as he stands in his. Together, they form a connection rooted not in appearances, but in something far more enduring: authenticity. 6. She has scars, but doesn't showcase them like trophies. She has lived through storms. Life has tested her in ways that left deep marks, through betrayal, heartbreak, loss, and disappointment. But unlike those who wear their wounds as symbols of suffering or leverage them for sympathy, she chooses a different path. Her pain does not define her, and her struggles are not the center of her identity. She does not use her past as a crutch, nor does she wear trauma like a badge to demand recognition or caution from others. Her strength lies not simply in surviving, but in what she has become because of it. She has chosen growth over bitterness, wisdom over resentment, and healing over blame. She doesn't weaponize her past to manipulate or shield herself from accountability. She doesn't seek pity, nor does she expect the world to make room for her pain. Instead, she quietly owns her healing, walking through life with a calm resilience that doesn't need to be announced. This quality resonates powerfully with the Sigma male. A man who lives on the fringes of societal norms and carves his own path is no stranger to hardship. He has endured his own battles, often silently, and understands that real strength doesn't shout, it hums beneath the surface. So when he meets a woman who carries her scars with dignity rather than drama, he doesn't just notice, he respects her deeply. To him, she is more than a survivor. She is a fellow traveler on a journey marked by trials and transformation. He admires that she hasn't let life harden her, but has instead allowed it to deepen her. She bends, adapts, and grows stronger without demanding the world witness her process. In a society that often confuses vulnerability with performance, she stands apart, not because she hides her pain, but because she's learned to live beyond it. 7. She can handle the truth, even when it cuts deep. A Sigma male values truth over comfort. He has little patience for sugarcoating, half-truths, or the polite lies people tell to keep the peace. His communication is often direct, sometimes piercingly so, not out of cruelty, but out of a deep respect for honesty. He believes that truth, even when it hurts, is a form of integrity. Most people, however, are unprepared for such bluntness. They flinch, recoil, or take offense when confronted with unfiltered honesty. But the woman who walks beside him is different. She doesn't crumble in the face of uncomfortable truths. When he speaks plainly, she doesn't shut down or lash out in self-defense. She doesn't mistake criticism for attack, nor does she retreat into ego when challenged. Instead, She leans in with curiosity and strength. She wants truth more than flattery, even when that truth stings, because she values growth more than comfort and connection more than control. This ability to hold space for raw, unfiltered communication is not just rare, it's foundational to the kind of bond the Sigma male seeks. With her, he doesn't have to second-guess his words or water down his thoughts. He can speak freely, knowing she won't twist his honesty into a weapon or use his vulnerability against him later. This level of trust is something he does not give easily, but once it's earned, it runs deep, and it's not one-sided. Her openness to truth inspires his own. In her, he finds a partner who values reality over illusion, a woman who wants what's real, not what's comfortable. Together, they build a relationship not on pleasantries or pretense, but on radical honesty and mutual respect. In a world full of filtered conversations and emotional landmines, she is a rare find, someone who sees honesty not as a threat, but as a gift, and in giving her the truth, he gives her the highest form of respect he knows. Final thoughts. The Sigma male's equal. The woman who truly stands beside a Sigma male is not defined by traditional roles or surface-level dynamics. She is not a supplicant, seeking his attention or approval. She is not a conqueror, attempting to break through his defenses or bend him to her will. Nor is she a caretaker, trying to fix or manage him. Instead, she is his equal, though not because she imitates him, but because she brings a complementary strength that enhances his nature without ever compromising her own. She doesn't chase him, doesn't try to possess him, and doesn't cling when he pulls away. Her love is not a chain, but an open hand. She operates on her own terms, guided by her own inner compass, much like he does. This independence, this self-possession, is not only what draws him to her, it's what keeps him coming back. Again and again, he chooses her not because he needs to, but because in a world of noise and pretense, she is a rare kind of clarity. She is not defined by him, nor does she seek to define him. Together, they are not two halves searching for completion, but two whole individuals choosing to walk side by side, bound by mutual respect, freedom, and depth. The invitation. If you find yourself reflected in these words, if you carry strength without needing to prove it, love without needing to possess, and authenticity without apology, then know this. You are not just any woman. You are the kind of woman a Sigma male doesn't just desire, but reveres. And in a world where real connection is so often buried beneath masks and games, that kind of rare, sovereign love is more valuable than gold. So stay grounded, stay free, stay entirely, unapologetically you. Do you resonate with the ideas I shared in this video? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you're interested in more content about Sigma males, explore the other videos on this channel. Thanks for watching.